Hello guys, the DB Grinder here, back at it again with another video, and this time we have Galzo versus PokeDuelsTCG, and this is going to be a $1,000 money match. Also, I'm going to have a lot to say about this match after the match ends, so make sure to stay until the end, but let's go ahead and hop right in. And this is also going to be full power tier limit format. 40 versus 44, we have Rhino, Magmama, Meta Noise, Medora, Tier Cash. They have Instant Fusion, Agito, Murley, Kelbeck, and Medora. So I haven't played full power tier in a while, so I might not be the best at it, but I'm sure I can still call out like some misplays. Normal summon Rhino, Rhino effect, go ahead, dump Havness, and then activate the Havness effect. Yeah, you definitely, dumping like Havness or Share in there, you definitely don't want to dump the Murley, because Murley you can dump off Sprint, and then go ahead bring out Kikalos effect, and then they go ahead and dump Solic, which is like insane misplay there. There's no reason to ever dump Solic. If you dump Solic, you're playing in the Kelbeck insanely hard. With Kikalos, you're almost just always searching with this, especially in a scenario like this. You could have went ahead and searched something like Scream. It's very good to have a card like Scream in rotation. And then you could go ahead and use the Tier Cash effect to summon out Tier Limit Cash Tira and go ahead and mill 11. And that's like, that's facilitating infinite cards and also just establishing Scream, so that way you can mill 3 on the opponent's turn whenever you'd like also. So now we're going to go Solic Chainlink 1, Kelbeck Chainlink 2, and you can see how this ends up like really hurting, like really hurting. Then search out Sharon, activate Sharon effect, go ahead and special summon out, pitch Medora, and then mill Keldo, Kelbeck, and then we go ahead and we think, and then we activate the Kelbeck effect, which will allow us to both mill 5. So mill 5, the opponent does mill a Shuffler. They also mill 3 names, but we also have like our own Shuffler to deal with it, and then we mill Scream, Sharon, we've already used Solic plus Havness, which also, like, that's another reason why dumping Solic is like pretty dumb. It makes it to where you have like less good mills later on, because now we milled a Solic, but we're not searching off that Solic. So now we're going to activate just Sharon effect, because we can't even Scream, because we only play 2 Solic, 1 Meta Noise. So not being able to search off that either is very bad. So they go activate the effect of Havness, and then chain Bestial to target Havness, and then they're going to go ahead and chain the Shuffler, which won't be able to target all the opponent's Shufflers here. I was going to say, because I'm assuming they're going to target their own Havness if they're doing it in response to Magmamut specifically. So go ahead and put back their Sharon, their Medora. Doesn't want to hit like 1 Keldo because they already have 2 Keldo in grave. And then Tier Cash, banish Solic, special summon out, and then activate the effect. Go ahead, mill 3, milling Kelbeck, but they already used Kelbeck effect. Also milling Orange Light, which I don't even know if this card is like correct to play. I remember some people were just like side decking it for other matchups, like random matchups like Flu, Exo Sister, Sprite. But now they go ahead and make a Dark Charmer effect to summon out Druis Worm. That's fine. Yeah, could have also targeted the Sharon, but I guess that plays into Tier Limit Cash Tira, but we do have Druis Worm sending Sprint now, which sucks a little bit. But that Sprint's going to go ahead, dump Murley, and then Murley effect to go ahead and fuse, put back Sharon, Havness, and I was about to say, we got to put back Murley. I was going to say, we can't fuse with like all 3 of those for anything. So we're going to go ahead, bring out Kikalos, and then now we have Kikalos effect that can go ahead and summon back out the Sharon from the grave, and then activate Kikalos effect to go ahead and mill, and then now we'll go ahead and mill Medora, Havness, Sharon, Agito, and Terraforming. So we've already used all 3 effects, I believe. Wait, have we? Oh gosh, this is like the same problem I had before. It's like remembering how many effects were used without writing it down. I remember back during tier format, I would write down which effects were used, because it can be a little bit hard when you're thinking about like both players' turns. So now, yeah, it doesn't activate anything and then just go end of main. Yeah, it doesn't want to activate a Agito there and just give the opponent free advantage, because our Agito doesn't really have very much to mill at this point. So now we go set Meta Noise, pass, and it's crazy because in tier format, if you make mistakes on your first turn, it feels like you get self-FTK'd. Like, it almost just feels like we've lost this game already. Like, we're not in, like, the worst position ever. Like, we have double Shuffler, Meta Noise, Bestial, Magmamut. but this also doesn't feel like a good position either. Like, this doesn't feel great. So they're gonna go activate Instant Fusion, pay 1,000, summon out Mud Dragon, and Instant Fusion's like insane. This card's so good. So summon out, and then on that summon they're gonna go Meta Noise, target Kelbeck, go ahead dump Havness, and then activate the Havness effect to go ahead put back itself plus Kikalos to summon out the Dragos Okay, so trying to beat something like Abyss Dweller. I was gonna say because they could just reflip Kelbeck. Now they're gonna go Medora, discard Agido, special summon out. No Agido effect there, and then they're gonna go Dragos on Medora, which is fine because now we can just overlay with the Mud Dragon to make the Dweller. They wanted to keep Mud Dragon on field and use Medora plus Kelbeck to make this because then they can't Dragos target Dweller because Mud Dragon. So activate Dweller effect, chain Keldo effect, banish, put back Sharon, Planet, and Dark Charmer, which I still feel like, okay, I know years have passed, but I still feel like shuffling back Planet in situations like this make no sense. You're putting back a card that's like, it's a good draw, but it's a bad mill. And think about how many more cards we're going to mill than we're going to draw, right? I feel like we're going to mill way more cards than what we're going to draw. So I feel like we want our mills to be higher payoff than we want our draws to be higher payoff. Now normal summon Murley effect, mill 3. Mills a Medora there. Then we go ahead and go into a Dark Charmer effect, summon out the opponent's Druid Worm, and then now we're going to go Battle Phase, Dark Charmer, Crash, and this is going to allow us to search a Sharon, with Sharon plus Kelbeck, especially when our opponent's under Dweller, is going to be very good. Go ahead, search out Druid Worm, beat over our opponent's Sharon, and then main phase 2 Sharon effect, special summon out, discard Kelbeck, and then mill 3, and we know the last card in hand's Bestial Magmamut too. Which also means like they're not going to be able to like Kelbeck Kelbeck the Dweller. And even if they do Kelbeck the Dweller, we should be able to remake Mud Dragon. But you know, we know the card in hand's Magmamut, so now they go ahead and mill Galdo. They also play Bestial Lubellion, which I feel like isn't even good in the mirror match. Like, they agreed to play a tier mirror. If I was playing a tier mirror, I wouldn't even play Bestial Lubellion. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good. Like, I know, I guess we'll find out. Do they play, like, the full package, or do they just play one Lubellion? Because I know some people played one Lubellion, so that way Magmamut during the end phase could search Lubellion, and then on your turn, Lubellion search Magmamut, and that gives you, like, a lot of Magmamuts in rotation. But they're going to go ahead and mill. You know, they don't get any of their graveyard effects there, while we do get our graveyard effects here. So now new Chain Link, Scream 1, Havness 2, Tier Cash 3. Then go ahead, chain Magmamut, banish the Havness, special summon out. Then they go ahead and mill, go ahead, search out Solic. Also, I don't know if they're playing it or not, but they probably, I don't know if they're playing 2 Kikalos, because when Tier Cash was a thing, a lot of people started playing 2 Kikalos because Kashtira was now a deck. This was what, like, YCS Leon format. And a lot of people played 2 Kit because Kashtira Unicorn ripping Kit was always good. But if you're going into the match knowing that you're playing the mirror match, is that something that you try to respect? I don't know. Now we're going to go Murley, Magmamut, and then put back Murley, Sharon. Go ahead, bring out Kikalos. Go ahead, search out Havness from the decks of the hand. Tribute Druid Worm for Lubellion. Lubellion effect, place Regained. Okay, yeah, I definitely don't agree with this. It's good if you set it up. But other than that, like, you know, it's just not good mills, and most of this format is just good mills. Kikalos effect, bring out Rhino, and then new Chain Link, Kikalos 1, Rhino 2, dump Sharon, and then mill 5. Like, to be honest, like, I already know how I'd build my deck if I knew I was going strictly into mirror matches. But they go ahead, mill, and then activate the Sharon effect. Then put back Sharon, Kikalos, and Rhino. Bring out the Kaleido, put back Dragos, activate Medora to now go put back all of the opponent's shufflers, assuming that they only have 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Oh, they're actually all lined up too. That's nice. So go ahead and just put all those back. Yeah, remove the shufflers out of the graveyard. No longer have to deal with those. Set Solic. And then end phase, grab out Baldrake. And then draw into Instant Fusion. That's like one of the best draws in their deck. But they're just say it shouldn't be enough though. Activate Dweller. So Baldrake isn't legal, by the way, but you're good to continue. Tier Cash and Baldrake are in the same set. Really? Yeah, I'm fairly certain they are. Fairly certain they are, at least. Yeah, they definitely are. They definitely are. So I thought it wasn't legal. You know a lot for a person who doesn't play. My friends told me what was legal and gave me a deck list. They said, sure, yeah, I'll go over more of the background story when this is done. Regain, summon out Bestial Magma Mutt, Chain Mud Dragon, Calling Dark, summon out, effect a search during the end phase. And then now we're going to go activate Baldrake onto my Druis Worm, which I feel like this is an interesting time to do this. If we were going to Baldrake right after, shouldn't we have just done it when they tried summoning out Magma Mutt? Because now we're letting them search during the end phase, which we know is going to get them Lubellion, which is going to get them back in the Magma Mutt, which is going to be like, it's like a whole engine at this point. They draw on them early, make Wallow, okay, and then go battle phase, beat over the Kaleido Heart, and then trying to attack with Mud Dragon, but Instant Fusion says it cannot attack. And they also did the wrong damage there too. This makes it to where all monsters you control getting attack. But they did not know that. Now Wallow effect to go ahead and summon out the Kaleido, Chain Havness. And then, okay, go ahead chain Keldo, which will now just put back the Kaleido. So the Wallow didn't even do anything. Yeah, it's just game over. I don't know why we're still in this game. Go ahead, mill Murley effect, put back. Well, I guess it is like a $1,000 money match, right? Like I would stay in it too, but this game is definitely just over. Kikalis, grab out Rhino, and then, yeah, link off into admit defeat. And then going into the next game, we will go ahead and we will see Galzo decide to go first. Opening hands, we have Keldo, Havness, Medora, Solic, Magma Mutt. They have Talents, Magma Mutt, Murley, Druis Worm, and Keldo. So we will start off by going main phase, activate Medora to discard Keldo, which is just extremely wrong. We should be activating Keldo, discard Medora, but we do summon out, and then we don't even place Gravekeeper from deck. Like if we played Gravekeeper, like sure you might be able to make an argument for it, but the fact that we don't and we didn't use Keldo is absolutely absurd because Keldo searches. So discard, special, search, like we could at least get something out of that. Maybe you end on Dweller, maybe you don't. Maybe you just like search Kelbeck, and now you have like, you know, multiple hand traps, plus, you know, Shufflers in rotation anyways. They draw Rhino, normal summon Rhino, activate Rhino effect, chain Havness, special summon, mill 3, mills a Guido, they mill Sharon, and then activate Sharon, Chainlink 1, Magma Mutt, Chainlink 2, doesn't activate a Guido, which I find to be absolutely absurd. It's very obvious that Galzo does not play tier, full power. I don't even play this format. And you could definitely activate a Guido there. It's a very safe Agido too, because like we have multiple shufflers here, especially with like a shuffler on field too. Like they can't really out this, and they can't really like, how can I say this, like order their mills in a certain way. Like they can't mill like Havness, tier cash, and then go like Havness, Chainlink 1, tier cash, Chainlink 2, Shuffler, Chainlink 3 to put back your Shuffler. You chain your Shuffler onto their Havness, and then the tier cash mills, and then that will hit another name, and then they can activate that name, and they've like spread out their effects while like chain links are going, and then, you know, you still have the shuffler on field that would like prevent that. But obviously they wouldn't like use their shuffler onto their shuffler. I don't think, like it would really depend, obviously, like what both players mill. But it wasn't even used. And now Magma Mutt on Sharon, and then chain Magma Mutt on Sharon, and then now they're gonna chain Keldo onto everything except for Baldrake. So also putting Thrust back into the deck. Now they're gonna go activate Talents to draw into Heartbeat plus Medora. Sure. Could have also went, I guess no, that's fine. Now we have Keldo discard Medora, which is very, very good, obviously. Keldo discard, special summon, go ahead search, grab out Kelbeck from the deck to the hand, and then overlay to make Abyss Dweller, and then activate Abyss Dweller effect. I say that's fine. Like we probably should just Solic that. Solic also negates it permanently, because now they can go battle phase, attack into the Medora, beating over it because it has the boost, Heartbeat, out the Solic that was set, and then Kelbeck effect, and then mill 5, and then, yeah, now we're under Dweller, and they are not, so now, yeah, and they know the card in hand's Magma Mutt, so activate Rhino, Murley, So go ahead and put back. They said, so what's the secret? What do you mean? You obviously play Yu-Gi-Oh! Even though you said you didn't. So they're going to go ahead, bring out the Kakalos, summon out Rhino, then activate the Kakalos and Rhino effect. They said, I've dabbled. They said, you haven't dabbled. You're hassling. What's hassling mean? Hustling. Hassling's crazy. You're hustling too, trying to take advantage of someone who doesn't play the hardest mirrors in the game. Genuinely asking. You said on Twitter, I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! So do you or don't you? I've dabbled. That's a lie. It's not. I've definitely dabbled. Didn't you win a Nationals? I feel like you should be able to beat me. I don't play much. Okay, to be fair though, it was Israel Nationals. Israel National, like, okay, I'm just being honest. Like, half of the Nationals in Europe are just not real. Not real. They have like 120 people at them. Like 100-person Nationals is like, I don't even know what to describe that to. That's like a small regional in the States. Like literally a small regional in the States. And you might not even have as many good players because Worlds points. So like, it's actually crazy. Like, I don't know. I don't know. How many good players would really be at like Israel Nationals? Like, there's probably not very many, right? So they're gonna go ahead, search. They already used Rhino on field. True. They did. That's what they started with. So go ahead and go ahead, search. And then Rhino to beat Overhavness, Kakalos to attack directly. Said, are we done? Are we playing this out? Lol, wondering who you are, to be honest. I'll tell you after you run me my money. And they said, lol, what money? Said, I mean, we were never getting paid, but say hi to Twitter. Losing to a Pokemon player is crazy. Hi, Twitter, can you send a PayPal? DM you one. KK, well played. Apparently, you're good at Yu-Gi-Oh! I've dabbled. Okay, so now talking about this, because this has been pretty big on Twitter. Because that's where this all started. Was PokeDuels said something about Yu-Gi-Oh! Being an easy card game or something. And then Galzo responded saying that they could play tier limit mirror matches for $1,000, which is a crazy, like, it's crazy to say that I'll play you for $1,000 in a mirror match when you don't know how to play the mirror match. Like, you should have just said, like, I'll play you in this format, like a format that you actually know how to play well. Otherwise, like, you know, it's so dumb. It's so, like, this whole thing is so dumb. And Pokemon players are trying to say that Yu-Gi-Oh's easy because all Yu-Gi-Oh is a spreadsheet combos. Yu-Gi-Oh players are trying to say Pokemon's easy because it's actually an extremely easy game to learn. Like, literally 5-year-olds learn the game. But obviously, at the top level, both games are very hard in their own ways. Yu-Gi-Oh is not just a spreadsheet combo game. Technical play, going second, you can't just do spreadsheet combos. Going first, you can't, like, most spreadsheets don't include how to beat hand traps, but, like, you have to be able to beat hand traps, combinations of hand traps. No spreadsheet is going to tell you how to beat Nib, Imperm, Veiler, Ash, and then your opponent goes normal summon Dormouse. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to teach you how to beat stuff like that. That's where technical play comes into usage. Also, Pokemon, it may be very easy to learn, but yeah, obviously at the top level, there's a reason why their top players are consistently able to do well, because both games are hard, and if you're very good at them, there's obviously skill expression in both games. I don't understand why there's even this argument. Obviously, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is harder to learn than Pokemon. I think everyone can agree with that. And I'm not saying Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Is harder, I'm just saying Yu-Gi-Oh! Is harder to learn, for sure. Everyone can agree with that. But alright, so what happened with this money match after the fact was Galzo did not send the money to PokeDuels because PokeDuels said that they did not play Yu-Gi-Oh! But this isn't even PokeDuels. This is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Player that PokeDuels had play the match for them. So this PokeDuels person is not actually PokeDuels, it is a different player. So there's a different player playing on the account. So Galzo said they're not going to pay them because it's not actually PokeDuels. And PokeDuels obviously wants the $1,000 because they won the match. And Galzo is now scamming. Both players are somewhat in the wrong. I would say Galzo's more in the wrong. Also, I feel like Galzo should have been able to very early on identify that either they're getting hustled or they're gonna get scammed or something's gonna be wrong, right? Like, there's no way a Pokemon player is gonna say, yeah, I've never played Yu-Gi-Oh! Before, let me play you for $1,000 in one of the hardest formats ever. No, that's just not gonna happen. Use a middleman. There's literally, I own the Coliseum, and the whole point of the Coliseum is middleman. So that way nobody gets scammed in money matches. If they just had Coliseum installed on their Discord, just join the server, boom, then none of this would have happened. But now guess what? Now we're here where PokeDuels is getting hate for setting up someone else instead of playing themselves after they said they would play themselves, and Galzo is getting hate for scamming for $1,000, which I think Galzo should pay the money. I think PokeDuels should have never had someone else play for them. I think there's so much wrong. I think that both these players didn't play very excellent in this match. I think both these players' deck lists are extremely wrong if you're going into a money match, assuming that both players are playing the exact same deck. Like obviously it wasn't the exact same list, but if you're playing against tier mirror matches, you could definitely build your deck better for specifically tier mirror matches. 100% your deck could be built better for that. But I don't think there's very much more to say here. Yeah, I just feel like this whole thing was dumb. The whole Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh drama, like, Yu-Gi-Oh is definitely the hardest card game to learn. There's literally Yu-Gi-Oh players who are multiple-time YCS champions, where if you ask them a ruling, they might not be able to get the ruling correct. There's a lot of rulings that are hard. Like, even I have learned rulings. You know, I've gone to Worlds multiple times and have multiple tops, and there's rulings that I don't know. I feel like everyone in the Yu-Gi-Oh community is like that. Where Pokemon, it's like, the rulings are very simple because of how their cards are worded. And, like, actually learning Pokemon is very easy. Where learning Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, there's a difference between, you know, and if you do, you know, semicolon, non-semicolon, does it say also on the SP effect so you can attack directly in main phase 2? Does Primal Lordly Lord allow you to activate special and monster effects to turn you activated? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of little things in this game that make it extremely hard. And there's also a reason why the top Yu-Gi-Oh players, when they quit the game and they go play other games, they start doing well in those card games. It's almost as if, like, this is the hardest card game, and whenever you switch to a different one, that card game is easier than this one's. But I'm not gonna say Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon is easier. You know, I'm just here to state the facts as a third party, alright? I'm just here to state the facts, alright? And with all that being said, you know, don't scam. Don't have other people play your money matches for you if you say it's going to be you. I feel like these are just all very obvious things. Make sure to use middleman in the Coliseum. You know, I've middleman over $1,000 money matches before, Ironmans before. You can always hit me up and use me as a middleman if you're playing for this amount of money. And with that being said, the DB Grinders signing off. Peace. Have a nice day. Stay safe.